prison time, deliverance. Well, if you're truly the Messiah and you're come to deliver the people, the captives, and set the prisoners free, here I am. Set me free, buddy. And he may not, and so it kind of goes with the thought you had that maybe he didn't grasp the totality of what set the prisoners free in the spiritual realm sense of it truly was, and the deliverance that was going to happen at the crucifixion when Christ died for us and delivered us from our sin. John was hanging on to the natural aspects of it, and he could have been thinking in natural terms, but I don't think John really ever questioned that he was the Messiah. If it was a little thought. I think he was questioning, this is a new nugget that I have. And I'm reading Isaiah and it says you're going to set the prisoners free. Well, here's a good chance for you to do that. Because you were my cousin. You love me more than other people, right? You're not going to let me get my head chopped off. I did what you wanted me to do. I said to Herod what you wanted me to say. I presented the gospel and the people put me in here because of that. You're obviously going to deliver me. You see, the layers of our life and the ministry that they had, and the layers of our life and the word that we dig into, I don't want to say a totality of cherishing those questioning moments. But there is a few questioning moments that I had. Never with, is Jesus truly the Messiah, or am I losing my salvation? Never that. But there is questions that came up in my walk with God that I cherish because it brought me so much closer to Him. Because it was a question, I was like, Lord, is it possible? I heard this preacher say this, or I heard this conversation, or someone asked me this question. Is it possible that is a truth? And some of the times it was, is it possible that I was believing a lie? Those two questions, is this true, or is what I believe is a lie, are some of the most cherished times I've had with God, because it brought me so much closer to Him. Well, this I believed for 50 years, and now someone said that, but something about the way they said it drew me into your scriptures, and I'm like, well, you know what? Yeah, I wasn't on the rock. I was in the sand. And if that's why when the storms blew, because I wasn't solid on the scriptures, that's why I always was alone. I guess it must have been what you meant to do, and instead of going, this is not true gospel. And those are cherished times. He goes on, 24. When John's messengers left, Jesus began speaking to the crowds about John. What did you go out to the wilderness to see? A reed shaken by the wind? Why did all you people that follow John, and why did the few of you that decided to follow me because John told you to follow me, why did you go out into the wilderness? What were you expecting to see? What was your anticipation? What was your hope? What were the questions you were asking yourself to go see what John has to say? To see if you could believe in it, or if you have, I'm going out there to tear this down. He goes on, 25. But what did you go out to see? A man dressed in soft clothing, Amplified adds to this, entirely unsuited for his harsh wilderness. Those who wear splendid clothing and live in luxury are in royal palaces. 26. But what did you really go out to see? See, he's doing it again. They didn't ask him a question. He's asking questions, and now he's making the questions deeper. You can answer why you went out to see. Well, it was a good religious thing, and this said the Messiah, and I've been taught that the Messiah's coming. Maybe this guy's trying to tell me about the Messiah. And he said, what did you really see? A prophet? And this is in 26. Yes, I say to you, and one far more, Amplified has a lot, this one, eminent and remarkable than a prophet who foretells the future. Why would it be so important that at that time and place the nation of Israel was going to see a prophet?
One thing, they hadn't seen one for a while.
They hadn't seen one, what, 400 years? So they and their grandparents and their great-grandparents had probably never seen a prophet if we just go 3, maybe even 4 generations. They didn't have the man of God coming and going, this is it. They had the Pharisees and the religious system that took over. And God waited 400 years to send John for 6 months to prepare the path for Jesus. And so there had to be, no matter how many falsehoods there is in any church, no matter how bad any place could be around the world, there has to be a remnant, because he always says, I leave a remnant. There had to be at least 1 or 2 people. We know there was a lot more than that because the crowds was coming to John to find out. So there had to be a few people going, well, I want to know, first of all, if he's a prophet or if maybe he's even the Messiah, which still goes hand in hand because they assume the Messiah would be a prophet, and we know that he's a prophet and a priest. But it was like, is this possibly the Messiah? I want to know. I've heard stories of the great granddad listening to the prophets and the judges speak to them. Is this possible? Anytime true gospel's being spread, people are attracted to it. For 1 of 2 reasons. Either they're earnestly seeking the Messiah, as these people, a lot of them were, or they're the Pharisees going out to see how big a problem this is going to be and what they got to do to get rid of it.